Mazda RX-15. Why isn't my video on? Is that why I'm looking at that weird thing? Oh, okay. Hey everyone, it's Prime. So we got about 3 minutes before the actual workout starts. So you can start kind of like, I don't know, wandering around in place to get your heart rate going. That's what I'm going to be doing as I let people into the workout. You can turn on your video. You can unmute yourself if you'd like. I was planning on playing music in the background, but I thought that might be kind of annoying and make there be like too much sound. If you know you have a ton of background noise, then maybe keep yourself muted. Otherwise, I think it's okay. If you want to chime in and like ask questions or just chat at any point during the workout, you can do that. I will officially start the warm up at like 10:03-ish while people come in, because people are probably trying to find the link and realizing that it's time. Again, for those of you that just came in, if you want to turn on your video so you can see people's faces, that'd be great. You can unmute yourself unless you know that there's a ton of background noise, so that we can chat as we work out. And I'm just gonna kind of sit. Actually, I'm gonna be wandering around in my basement, making sure that you can actually see me because it's kind of dark down here and I have this set up on like a bunch of questionable items. Like my computer is set up on a bunch of questionable things. So I'm gonna just make sure that everybody can see me. Um, Again, if you wanna start moving around and like getting your blood flowing, just like pacing around your house, which I've been doing all day anyway, you can get started doing that. And I'm just gonna make sure I have everything I need. Of course, I'm too far away to see if I can actually see that. We'll set it like this is probably better because then you can see the bench. Okay, so most of this workout is designed to be something that you can do without any equipment. I am going to be using a bench, but I do have a substitute. If you don't have a bench or a chair, you should be fine. I'll just provide a substitute for you. There are going to be a few exercises where I'm going to tell you if you want to add weight, you can. If you have a band, it's going to be helpful. But if you don't have any of those things, that's also fine. I'm just admitting people. I don't know how to turn. Oh my, oh my John Ralphio shirt. Yes. You can also type in the chat box in case people didn't see that. So I think I'm going to actually type in the first. Like, I'm just going to type the exercises into the chat box so you guys can see what we're doing. And then, I'll walk you through each of them. Now that I've moved the camera, all you can see is this John Ralphio shirt. So everybody just enjoy it. While I'm typing, if you want to unmute yourself and just like chat with each other, fucking go for it. That's kind of the whole point, is we're all socially isolated. Probably might have been a long time since you've talked to an actual adult, which is how I feel. Or you can just listen to me tip tap away at my computer. Oh my God, there's a spider on my computer. Go away, little friend. Okay. Let some more people in. Oh, how cool. So not everybody is alone doing this workout. Just make sure you're 6 feet away from each other. It's good pack definition practice. Okay, so like I've already been saying, if you want to start like wandering around, getting your heart rate going, you can. So you can like march in place, do some skaters, pretend to jump rope. I would actually be jump roping, except my ceiling is really low. If you can't hear me because I'm too far away, just let me know and I'll start yelling, but I would prefer not to yell. It's like your little dance party, whatever that looks like for you, so that you're getting your heart rate going. And we're just gonna do this for a couple minutes. Does anybody want to introduce themselves? Oh, I'm Prime. Hi, everybody. My kid and my dog are home, so we might get interrupted by one or both of them at some point. We'll do some skater hops. We'll be doing some of these in the workout though, so don't like go hog wild on them. Some jumping lunges, but just really small, right? Because this is just a warm up. So we're not trying to make everything the most intense. We're just trying to get our heart rate up for right now. Oh, there's more people in the waiting room. Gotta let them in. Okay, for those of you that just came in, we're just doing some general movement to get our heart rate going. Maybe your nose will start running, like mine is doing right now. Should have brought some Kleenex down. But I don't actually have any Kleenex because there weren't any at the grocery store. Because this is how we live now. Okay, if you need to keep moving to get your heart rate up, you can. I should stay back here. But I'm gonna start doing some actual warm-up exercises. So I'm gonna start with just some lunges. And I'm not going super deep. I'm just like coming forward, warming up a little, letting my knees and my glutes and everything figure out what's going on. If forward lunges fuck up your knees for whatever reason, you can always lunge gently backward, and that's okay too. Or you can mix it up. You can do some forward lunges and some backward lunges. Then we're also going to do some side lunges. Making sure our hips are working in all directions. Again, this is a warm-up, so we're not like looking for the world's deepest, most perfect lunge. We're just getting shit moving. And then we're gonna do some like diagonal lunges. So instead of stepping straight forward, I'm gonna kind of step out diagonally. If stepping out like this bothers your knee, another thing you can do is just this star tap, where you tap out in front, tap out diagonally to the side, and kind of go around in a star. Oh, my hip just popped. Anybody else experiencing some knee and hip popping? As long as it doesn't hurt, it's totally normal. We're like snap, crackle, and pop, the Rice Krispie people. What are they, elves? I don't know. I feel like I should know. Okay. So now we're gonna come down onto all fours. We're just gonna do a little twisting of our spine. So put your hand behind your head. I'm starting with my right hand, it doesn't really matter. And we're gonna bring our elbow down towards our hand and then open it up towards the ceiling. My range of motion is really small. Some of you might be able to get your elbow closer to your hand or might be able to open like way up. We really want to focus on keeping our hips square to the ground though, so don't like open your hips way up just to get a bigger range of motion. You do about 5 to 8 on one side and then switch to the other side. Take my hat off. I'm getting hot now. It's good. That means my warm-up is working. And then we're going to stay on all fours and we're going to do bird dogs, which is essentially lifting up the opposite hand and foot while your back stays flat and bringing them down and then switching. We're going to do about 10 to 12 total. It's really important with these to reach out instead of up. You don't want to feel your lower back arching. So you want to reach out with your hands and your feet. Reaching out. Okay, and then we're gonna flop onto our backs like a dead bug. So arms straight above you, elbows and wrists stacked. Lower the opposite arm and leg. And again, do about 10 or 12 total. You can straighten out your legs if you would like, but remember, this is just a warm-up, so we're not trying to kill ourselves. I don't know, I lost count. That seems like enough. It's generally how I work out. I'm done when I'm done. Okay, the last thing we're gonna do is just roll our ankles. So you can hold them out in front of you and roll them like this. You can have your toe down and roll them against the ground. Just do a couple circles in each direction for each ankle. Then again, if you're anything like me, they're probably popping a lot. As long as it doesn't hurt, it's probably fine. Okay, I'm gonna roll my shoulders a little bit too. After those quadruped positions, my shoulders are not very happy with me. Okay, now I'm also gonna take off my sweatshirt because it's getting warm in here. All right, so the first set of exercises we're gonna do is gonna be 2 exercises, and it's gonna just be an add-on to our warm-up. So we're not trying to go super intense, we're just kind of getting a little bit deeper into our warm-up. We're gonna start with glute bridges and sit-throughs. So most of us roller derby folks are familiar with glute bridges. We're gonna get down on our back. And our knees are gonna be bent, our heels pretty close to our butt. And then we're going to press through our heels and bring our hips up until our glutes are squeezed at the top. And then we're gonna come back down. We're gonna do 10 of those, and then we're gonna move to sit-throughs. If you have a band, a mini band like this, you can put it around your legs, above or below your knees, and it'll give you a little bit more glute engagement. But if you don't have one, regular glute bridges are just fine. So 10. I lost count again. Fuck, I'm terrible at counting. You would think it would be an important skill for a personal trainer, but apparently not. Okay. When we're done with our glute bridges, you can see everybody's still doing their glute bridges. You can hold them at the top a little bit longer if you want. I see some people adding some intensity. We're gonna do some sit-throughs. So a sit-through starts on all fours, just like those other quadruped positions we were doing. Except this time we're gonna come up onto our toes, so our knees are off the ground. And then we're going to turn and kick our left leg through if our left arm stays down, and then come back. Okay, and then we're gonna switch sides. If that's really hard for you because you have shitty shoulders, you can totally keep your knees on the ground and just sort of open up into like the side plank position. We're only gonna do 4 per side for these, but you can do less if you need to. Okay, so full position, up on your toes, twist through. I just kicked my treadmill, twist through. Try and keep your shoulders stacked above your wrist. And once your sit-throughs are done, we're gonna go straight back to the glute bridges. Again, this is still kind of part of the warm-up. So if you're feeling like, holy shit, this is really intense, then you can totally dial it down. Do less. Do a modification, whatever you need. So 10 of these. And then 4 sit-throughs per side. And I think I'm going to do the less intense version because my shoulders are really talking to me today. And I would like to not have them hurt for the rest of the day. So I'm going to do slightly less right now. Okay, so as you finish up that section, hopefully you're feeling pretty warm. I see everybody doing things, nice work. So take a second to catch your breath, to get some water. I'm gonna type in the next exercises in the chat box and then we'll walk through them. And if you're still finishing up your exercises, then go at your own pace. Hard to type when I'm like at a lower level than my computer. What's our last exercise? We're gonna do 6, no 8. Okay, so the next exercises are in the chat box. There's 3 of them. So we're gonna start with the first one, go into the second one, go into the third one, take a little bit of a rest, and then go back to the top. We're gonna do 4 rounds of this. So we're gonna start with the single leg hip thrust. A glute bridge is fine if you don't have anything to hip thrust from, and I'll show you what that looks like in a second. A push-up, I'm gonna do an incline push-up because my push-ups suck, but if you can do full push-ups, go for it. We're gonna aim for 4 to 8 of those. And then we're gonna do IYTs, which is 8 per orientation, where your arms are doing an I, a Y, and then a T. And I'll walk you through what those look like as well. So for this, if you wanna make it more challenging, you can use weight on the single leg hip thrust, and also on the IYTs. If you have like a small dumbbell you can put in your hip crease. I'm just gonna demonstrate the body weight version. So we need a chair or a bench, and if you don't have any of those, you can just do a glute bridge, but we're gonna do one leg at a time this time. I think I set it up so everybody could see my bridge. So this is my bench. I'm gonna sit down in front of it, and I want the edge of the bench to be right underneath my shoulder blades, kind of along my bra line if you wear a bra. Then we're gonna bring our feet up. Oh, I need to take my socks off, otherwise my feet will be too slippery. Our heels close to our butt, just like with the glute bridge. And then we're gonna push up. But we're gonna do it single leg. But I'm checking to make sure that my knee is at a 90-degree angle when I'm at the top, which it is. So I know that this is where I wanna start. Then I'm just gonna pick one leg up and thrust up so that I'm making this 90-degree angle at the top. And then I'm gonna come all the way down until my butt touches the ground and then pop up again. So we're gonna do 10 of those per side. If that's really hard, you can always leave this other leg down on the ground, stretched out a little bit, so it gives you a little bit of extra support. So you have kind of this staggered stance. And if that's too easy, you can put some weight in your hip crease right here to make it more challenging. It's super important with hip thrusts to make a double chin. So tuck your chin way down and keep it there as you do your hip thrust. And you can put your non-working leg down if you need to. It's also totally okay to mix it up. You can do 5 on one leg, then 5 on the other, then 5 and 5. You can do 5 single leg, 5 staggered stance, and then switch. You can do 5 with the weight and then 5 without, or any variation thereof. Okay, when we're done with that, we're gonna do push-ups. So again, you're just doing 4 to 8. If you are really great at push-ups and you want to add weight to your back or decline it, you can. I'm not so great, so I'm going to do some incline push-ups. We'll see if I can even get 4. Ooh, 4. The bare minimum. So it's important with your push-ups that your elbows stay pretty close to your body at a 45-degree angle. So none of this chicken wing. And everything should be tight. So squeeze your glutes, squeeze your quads as you do push-ups. If you need to be on your knees, that's fine. If you need to do them off the wall, that's fine. Anywhere between 4 to 8. Okay, and our last exercise is an IYT. So you can lay flat on your stomach for this. But I'm going to demonstrate it in a different manner so that everybody can see it. The other option is to be bent over like this and do it like this so you don't have to lay on the ground, which I try to avoid in my dirty ass basement. Okay, so an IYT is basically stretching your arms above your head in an I shape, so your body makes an I shape. I don't see anybody still doing push-ups, so I'm just moving forward. And what we're gonna do is bring our shoulder blades together, which will cause our arms to sort of lift up. So if I'm laying on the ground and I bring my shoulder blades together, my arms are gonna lift up off the ground a little bit. So I'm gonna do 8 of those. And then I'm going to open up into this, into a Y shape and do the same thing. So 8 in a Y shape, and then 8 in a T shape, okay? The really important key here is to make sure that your shoulders are away from your ears, because a lot of people are going to use their trap muscle to do this, and you want to use the muscles in between your shoulder blades to do this. So really focus on squeezing those shoulder blades together. I don't give a shit if your arms barely move. The goal is to squeeze your shoulder blades together. Hey, be careful. I don't want you to knock my laptop off. What's up?
I'm done with the games.
Okay, well, what's next?
Lunch.
Okay, but I have to finish this first. Everybody can see you.
Who are you talking to?
A bunch of my friends on the internet.
How can you talk to a bunch of them?
Technology. You can go upstairs. Are you gonna run on that?
Yeah.
I might have to ask you to leave if it gets really loud, okay? Okay, so when you're done with that set of 3 exercises, you're going to take a little bit of a break. That could be anywhere from 30 seconds to 90 seconds, and then you're gonna do them again. We're aiming for anywhere between 3 to 4 sets of these. So that means you're gonna go through this set 2 or 3 more times, kind of depending on how much of a workout you need. Again, feel free to unmute and chat with each other, especially because, oh no, never mind. There he goes. I was gonna say, especially because I'm gonna be distracted by this one, but he ran off again. So, okay, what's that? Okay, back to the single leg hip thrust. Here we go. Oh, if you don't have a bench, right, you can do single leg glute bridges. So laying on the ground, heel tucked in towards your butt. One leg just gets lifted up off the ground, and then you push up like this. He's so loud. Six, 7. Oh. Okay. IYTs.
Can you add weight to the IYTs?
You can. If you add weight, I would just make it like a pound, maybe, because those muscles are really small and they'll tire out really quickly.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. We need a water break after that round, I think. Okay, I'm halfway through that set. How's everybody doing? I see some hip thrusts happening, some IYTs, some empty bedrooms. Oh, there's somebody. Everybody's on the floor, so I can't see them. Oh, some push-ups? Good, okay. Thumbs up. Yeah, just give me a literal thumbs up in the camera when you have a second. So look at what's next. This is this is the hardest part. This is like our strength section that we're focusing on right now, which is why we're doing so many sets of it. And then the next section is going to be a little bit less. So this is the most difficult part of it. You're probably at least halfway through. So nice work. I want to go back to my single leg hip thrusts. If you have questions, you can pop on and ask. Although I might have to run upstairs and check on my kid in a second. He's being very silent, which is unusual. Oh, there he goes. Whew. Okay. Into the third round. Take a break. Drink some water. If you're stopping at 3 rounds, you get a little bit of an extra break while we finish everything up. You see somebody doing their IYTs and it looks like I'm getting a thumbs up every rep, which is awesome. Thank you. Okay, I'm moving on to my last set. I might have gotten slowed down by my kid. Is everybody else still working? I see, yes, 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 okay. Man, these hip thrusts always get me. I think they're gonna be so easy, and they just never are. They never get easier. How is that possible? Okay. Last set of IYTs. Let's do it. Fuck. Okay. Okay, how's everybody doing? They are so hard. Okay, we got 2 sets left, 3 exercises. While I type it out, I'm gonna take a little bit of a break. There are still some people working through the circuit. So get some water, catch your breath. If you're somebody that has a really hard time with breathing during high cardio activities, like when you're jamming or blocking, now's a really good time to focus on your breathing pattern so that you can bring your heart rate down more quickly while you're not, being targeted by people trying to hit you, crush your soul. Okay, I'm gonna type in the last exercises. So the main exercise at the top of this one is most useful to have a band. I have a substitute for it. But if you have a band, like a mini loop resistance band, like the one I was using for the glute bridges, make sure that you have it ready. Okay, so the new exercises are up. We're just gonna go through this tricep twice. So we're almost there. I'm gonna walk you through them in just a second, but I can hear my dog grumbling, which means my child is probably harassing him. So I'm gonna go check on that upstairs and then I'll be right back. Hold on. Yeah. Good luck on your science experiments. Okay. Oh, have a good day at work. At home, I guess. Okay, so I'm back. We're gonna do monster walks. If you have the band, you're gonna wanna put it around your legs, below your knees, if possible. That's gonna be the most challenging. Kind of the further down your legs you go, the more challenging it gets. So if you want it to be most challenging, around your feet is good. So monster walks are basically starting in derby stance. We're gonna kind of walk forward with the band around our legs like a monster. So we don't want our feet to get too close. We're gonna do 15 steps per leg. You may have limited space like I do. So when I reach the kind of the limit of where I can go, I'm gonna go backwards. And just count all your steps together. So we're doing 30 steps total, 15 per leg. Okay, and if you don't have the band, your substitute is a clamshell. So you're gonna lay on your side, knees bent, hips stacked, and you're gonna squeeze the top glute to open up your legs without rocking backwards. So you'll do 15 per side if you're gonna do the clamshells instead. I'm probably biased that side. Okay. Since monster walks go pretty quick, the next exercise is going to be a skater hop and hold. So most of us are familiar with skater hops, right? We just go as quickly as we can from one side to the other. For this one, we're trying to hop as far as we can, and then we're going to pause there, really sinking into this leg before we hop to the next leg and pause. So we're going to do about a 1 to 2 second pause on each side. And we're going to do 10 per leg. So that would be 20 total. Good thing that treadmill's there, otherwise I would have fallen over. And it's okay if you wobble and you have to put your foot down for balance. We're really just trying to control our body here, because that will help us with both speed and stopping. Fuck, I lost count again. I'm so terrible at counting. That feels like 10. Are you coming down?
No.
Okay, and then our last one is going to be the side plank. If you want to start with me, I'll keep time for you, because we're just doing 20 seconds per side. Set my timer. I'm going to do it from my elbow, but with my legs straight. You can also keep the bottom knee bent, or you can come up onto your hand if you need it to be more difficult. So if you're going to do it with me, I'm going to start in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Hop up. Make sure your elbow and your shoulder are stacked here, and that your hips also stay stacked, so you're not rocking forward and backward. Keep your hips up. Okay, that's time. And then we're going to switch sides. I guess I could just roll over, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do this. I wish I had my whistle. I could do like a true 5-second countdown. Just blow my whistle when it's time to go. 5 seconds. Go. And just like with most things in roller derby, you'll probably find that you have one side that's like, no big deal, and one side that's a lot harder. I thought this was my easy side, but now I'm second guessing myself. Take time. Because this is our last set, we're actually not gonna take a break in between our rounds if we can help it. If you need a break, you should take one. Otherwise, hop right back into your monster walks or clamshells. This is the last set, and then you're home free while we'll stretch. 17, 18, 19. What, I said 30 steps total? That's a lot. Last count again. Ah! I'm gonna do 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I don't know how people that run group exercise classes keep count. Fucking impossible. Okay, and then back to the skater hop and hold. So I'm gonna start over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So when you hold here, you should really feel it in your glute and your hamstring as they decelerate you. And also your core, right? Your core is helping you hold that position. Having your arms kind of do what they do when you're crossing over is really helpful as well. Okay, that was 10%. That went quick. Okay. Then we'll start the last set of side planks in about, I don't know, 30 seconds. So everybody has a chance to catch up. They want me to set the timer. Okay, 5 seconds. Everybody's ears perks up. Go. I should have started on my weaker side. Oh well. End the workout on a challenge for me. Halfway there. Really press through your elbow. Keep your hips up. 3, 2, 1, done. Okay, flip over. Get yourself in position. 5 seconds. Go. You can also stagger your feet too, if that helps, so they're not stacked right on top of each other. Oh, more than halfway there. 3, 2, 1, time. Okay, we did it! Yay! Okay, so I'm gonna start doing a cool down. You can cool down with me. If you gotta go, you gotta go. I get it. If you have any questions during this time, you can unmute yourself and ask, because I'm just gonna be stretching and breathing heavily. Give myself a second to cool down. When I'm still a little breathless like this, I like to walk around, not like fast, but just kind of keep my body moving while my heart rate comes down, so I don't like crash and burn. It only takes about a minute or two. Again, if you're somebody that struggles with breathing during like jams and stuff, at the end of a set, when your breathing is really heavy, it's a good time to focus on how you're breathing and how you might want to change it. Okay. Oh, you can't see me. So the first exercise, or the first stretch I'm going to do is actually a pec stretch, which is one I do all the time. It helps to have a doorway or like a post or something. So I'm going to use my treadmill. What you do is put your palm against the back of the post or the doorway at hip level, and then you're going to scoot yourself forward, pressing your chest out until you feel a stretch in your pec here. If you're doing it in a doorway, you can have both hands up like this and just kind of lean into the doorway so that you're leaning through it. But I don't have access to a doorway right now. This is a stretch I would recommend that you do every single day, even on days that you don't train. Like every time you walk through a doorway, just hang out for like 5 seconds. Because a lot of folks, skaters especially, are really tight across the chest from like being in skate position all the time. And just in general, humans are tight through their chest. And if you notice that like it feels like it starts to loosen up, you can actually move a little, like I'm gonna scooch a little bit further forward because my stretch is loosening up. Okay, and then I'm gonna switch sides. I think I can kind of see you all back there. You can even turn a little bit away from your stretching arm. Okay. All right, so time's up on the pec stretch. The next thing we're gonna do is a lat stretch and an inner thigh stretch. So we're gonna do, what's it called? Child's pose, is that what it's called? Where you like come down and stretch your hands out in front of you, right? You get that stretch in your inner thigh. Instead of going straight ahead though, you're gonna walk your hands over so that you feel a stretch down your side. We're gonna hang out in one side and then we'll walk over to the other side. So come down into child's pose, stretch your arms out in front, and then walk them about 2 steps to one side, and you should feel that stretch down through your lat, the muscle underneath your armpit. You might get some stretch in your inner thighs, but my hips are a little tight, so I'm not able to get as deep into child's pose as I should. That's okay. For me, the tendency in child's pose is to like hold myself up on my arms, but I really want you to like relax all the way down so that you're not actively using those muscles and you can actually stretch them. Okay, now we're gonna walk over to the other side. Stretch through that opposite lat. I can hear my son yelling my name, but I don't know what he thinks is gonna happen. I'm way down here. Okay, come on in child's pose. We're gonna move into a hamstring stretch because those hip thrusts got deep into your hamstring and your glute. So we're gonna stretch those next. You're gonna wanna lay on your back. One leg is gonna be straight out along the ground and then one leg is gonna be extended up in the air. So you're kind of, your legs are at a 90-degree angle to each other. You're gonna grab behind your leg just to support it. You're not trying to like pull it into your body, you're just supporting it there. And you're gonna bend your knee or relax so that your heel drops close to your hamstring. And then you're gonna contract your quad and as hard as you can so that you feel that stretch through the hamstring. And you're gonna hold it for about 2 seconds and then you're gonna drop it. And then contract, hold for about 2 seconds, and drop it. You're gonna do that about 8 to 10 times and then switch sides. So this is our dynamic hamstring stretch. You're gonna be really glad you did this tomorrow, probably. Okay, when you get to about 8 to 10, then you're gonna switch sides. My left hamstring is always tighter than my right. So you might find that, you know, when you go to straighten your leg, it doesn't straighten all the way on one side or both sides. And that's okay. Just contract as hard as you can. Feel that stretch through your hamstring, but you know, not so hard that it hurts. And when you're done with your hamstring stretch, we're gonna stay in the same position and just move into a figure 4, which is where you cross one leg over the other. And now you're gonna pull it towards your chest. So you get that stretch in your glute down here. And you'll just hang out in this position for a little bit. You can also sort of rock side to side here, and that will work through the different fibers of your glute. And then switch after about, I don't know, 20 to 30 seconds so that you can rock through your other glute. Okay. And then I'm going to end it with the seated straddle, which is just, I know you can't see my legs, but they're kind of out wide, and I'm just going to come straight down the middle. So I get this stretch in my inner thighs. If you're a gummy and can go all the way down, like, nice work. This is as far down as I can go. So if you have other stretches or exercises that you normally like to do, you can add them on here. If you plan on doing this workout again and you want to make it more challenging, you can do more sets or reps. You can finish with cardio, whatever you want to do. I feel like I'm so far away. I'm going to come closer. But that's it for today. There will probably be another one next Tuesday, very similar to this one, body weight. I might mix it up. So if you want to join, just pay attention to social media. I'll be posting the link later. And that's it. Thank you for working out with me today. I'll be posting this video across social media later as well. So if you want to refer to it again later, you can. Take care of yourself and each other. And I hope you have plenty of chocolate to see you through. I'll see you guys all later. Bye.